Welcome back from that break, and right now I'm being joined by Engineer Thoba Owojayi to help us analyze and make sense out of what the 2025 Nigeria economy is going to look like. It's glad to have you join me in the studio. Good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I didn't know you were wearing white, so I wore white too. So
oh, really? Well,
it's a peaceful white year.
It's a peaceful white year indeed. I love the sound of that. But then, I
truth on the year.
Amen. We hope so. Because, I was saying to our viewers, what a year the 2024 has been. What a year. It's been a year of a lot. Going from a lot, coming back from a lot, and entering a lot. But then there is this headline I saw during the morning show that those who did dirty December, kind of cost Nigeria economic. I don't know on what paper I actually saw it, so I want to confirm before we get on board. You're among those that did dirty December. Because you're looking like one of those that did it.
Where we see money, but it was good.
Where you're looking, you look like one of those.
Yeah,
but people keep telling us there's no money in this country, and people did that in December. Really?
See, let me explain Nigerians to you. We have a culture. I want you to understand that MMM crashed in December. Nigerians don't like to invest nothing in December. Nigerians they want to take out of what they've earned for the whole year, no matter how hard the year went, and spend it with people they love. That's just Nigerians for you. It doesn't mean that the economy was fantastic, that's why people spent, but whatever people had, they shared it with loved ones. You get to the street of your house, children are following you, happy Christmas, happy Christmas. Will you start explaining Tinubu, or what will you explain to the children? So those are the things, and then you see your loved ones, and then you have a little money. Not like you don't have bills in school fees to pay in a few days' time, but when you're with loved ones, you just want to enjoy the moment, because sometimes life is about creating fun memories that you would come back to. So we are a resilient people. I know that about Nigerians. We are. You can't get Nigeria down. There's nothing you can do to take this country down. So we always find a way to come back up. Yes, there was large spending. Almost every city. I just came in from Kaduna. Till nights, people were out. It was relatively safe, which is why we want to thank the presidency and the governors. It was relatively safe, and people were able to spend, because if there are one or two bomb blasts in places, people will stay back inside their houses. So it's a good sign for 2025. We expect a better economy. That's what we expect. But it was a good holiday. People spent time with their loved ones, and it was nice. Okay,
before we get into the topic of the day, give me a brief analysis of what you make out of 2024. 2024, a lot happened. Like in a brief statement, just give me an analysis of what you can make, or what you made out of 2024 as per Nigeria economy.
2024 was very tough for us economically and politically, because the basic indices that will have lifted us up, fuel, dollar, were all very bad throughout the year. Fuel got as high as 1,000 plus at a point. People started buying at filling stations, legit filling stations, for 1.3.
Don't forget to include the bag of rice, because that's my highest thing. Even if there comes a day I feel like, okay, my pocket is not broad enough, I can't afford the car, I could possibly do both, or perhaps public transport. I'm not too big for that yet, but the bag of rice I must eat. So please don't forget to include that part.
Yes, we'll come back to that. So the 2024 was really tough for us, which is why it was not surprising that we had a protest.
Okay.
Because it was tough for us. But like I said, we're resilient people. We come back fighting. The president kept fighting the odds. You think that Arise and this day, which people have tagged as papers that were against the presidency, have given him Man of the Year. Because it takes resilience. This is your direction. You have to have a policy, and you have to make people know, and decision makers know, and investors know, that no matter the pressure that comes to you, you are not changing this policy. Because once you keep somersaulting policies, no investor can bank on your word. Once an investor cannot bank on your word, he cannot take a money decision. Because why do I take a money decision? Let's assume you wanted to, you assured me you are going to wear a red dress. And then I was coming with my red dress and I said, let me just check up on you. I prefer white too. And you said, no, I'm sticking to my red. If I know you're a person of your word, it makes me know that if I want to wear what you are wearing, I should come into a red dress. So these are the kind of things that the president has stuck to. Whatever he has stuck to his guns, whether it's not working or it's working, you know that this is his direction. Like the tax reform bill, you know that this is his direction. So you can now be able to walk around it. If we can't get it 100%, we can get it 80%.
Okay.
That has worked for us. But it was a very tough year, to be honest. Very tough year for Nigerians. I congratulate every Nigerian that survived 2024. We lost a lot of people. It's sad. But we lost a lot of companies. We lost a lot of businesses. We lost a lot of small jobs. But we're here. We're resilient people. We're here.
Yeah, we are here. Well, viewers, also be reminded that our phone lines are open for you to call in to join the conversation. Like my guest rightly say, congratulations to you for making it into the year 2025, because it was a year of a lot and a lot and of a lot. But then, okay, now we are in 2025. Let's keep
Japan myself.
You're going to leave us here.
We're crazy, yeah.
Well, now the 2024 has come and gone, and we are here in 2025. Let's say it's a new day, it's a new year, it's a new beginning for Nigeria and individually, of course. So now the budget is out. We are hopeful that the Nigeria economy would get better than what it was in 2024. So now we are here, the budget is out. What are the expectations and hope you think Nigerians should hold on to in 2025 regards the economy?
Yeah, I'll speak from the presidency to states.
Okay.
Because those are the two most important people, and then maybe local governments. Though that we are not still sure what's going on there. From the presidency, we are seeing that the refineries is being worked on. Last week we had our great ex-president OBJ say something about the refinery, and the NNPC was bold enough through their spokesman to say, sir, come let us take you on a tour. I've said this on your program.
Yes, where you said take people there,
credible people there. Don't take people that are siding the government. Take Sowore, just find ordinary president, VDM. Find people who on a normal day are not generally on your side. Take them with journalists to go and see the refineries. We have put money into it, and not just Tinubu's government. What we're saying is that governments after governments have put money into these refineries with nothing coming out. So now you have put money into it, some things are coming out, but expect that distrust to be there. There's a proverb that says, person with snake don't bite, they fear rubber.
Okay.
So we've been bitten by many snakes, so anything we see now that is shaking and slithering, we're afraid. So the president needs to understand that apprehension is there. Till Port Harcourt refinery is functioning, till Rivers refinery is functioning. I have friends working in Kaduna refinery. One is a driver, one is in charge of repairing. I will send you the pictures privately because I cannot air that on air here. But work is being going there. It's not repairs, replacement. So that means you have a chance. I
think you messaged me to, was it a few days ago?
Yeah,
I hope you see what is going on in Oyi. We need the one who said that so much work is going on.
Yes,
there.
Too much work. I am sure about that. So, but you see, this is not about me. Is a Nigerian sure about that? The president has not communicated, and his team, the presidency, have not really communicated this renewed hope well. Renewed hope is not just a slogan. People are feeling hopeless.
So is it a work in progress?
Yes, but it's not going the way we expect. We are not seeing the right people that people can believe in. Let me say I am carrying a bag of cement, and I ask you ask me where are you? I say, where am I dropping this bag of cement? You say you don't know yet. But if you say we are dropping it in the next 10 steps that I walk, I know that every step I walk is taking me towards my relief of dropping this bag of cement. Then if you say, when I drop this bag of cement, you will give me 200,000. Every step I take towards dropping that cement is a relief for me. But if I don't know how far I'm going to walk with this cement, if I don't know what I'm going to get at the end, maybe I'll even get 2 more bags on my head going backward, then I'll be complaining for every step I'm taking. The communication of hope is not good enough. That's what I'm saying. So we expect the president to do that more. Let them see this is what is being done in the agricultural sector. I know a friend of mine who is getting 10,000 hectares for farming. He has gotten it in 7 states. That's why I'm coming to states. States are opening up more for transactions that are not just newspaper transactions or things you just sign, MOU deals, things that are actually working. Go to Niger State, you see farming going on. Go to some states, you see the states must be involved. They must open up. We have arable land. We have seen other loans coming up, soft loans coming up to state governments. We've seen the federal government give the local government autonomy. These are the things we want to see, so that the local government can do business. Why? The local government chairmen do not have immunity. We saw in Edo State just a change of governor now. All the local government chairmen are on the run because people are pressuring them to remove them. A local government chairman doesn't have immunity. So if we put funds in their hand, they are closest to the people. They can be able to deliver on their projects. So it's for me, I see it's going to be a good year once fuel can drop, once dollar can drop, because once our 3 refineries are functioning, we can now reduce the price of fuel. We've seen fuel come down a bit. It has not affected the price of transportation. No. We saw fuel come down like by 60 naira. It's still not good enough. We need fuel to come down before March to like 800. Yes.
It's still quite high.
Yes, it's still. I'm just saying we need to see fuel. But as we get more refineries, we'll have that. As one more refinery has kicked in, the share of crude that has gotten to Dangote has reduced again, which is also a problem again. So we need to increase the crude production, which is to reduce militancy in those areas and bunkering. All of these things are the things the president must work on, which is why the president is not going head on with Fubara, because if he sides Wike too much and Fubara and the boys block the rigs, then your economy comes down. So the country is a very tight rope you are working on. He has to keep following what he's doing gradually, get all 3 refineries functioning, get all the agricultural things happening in all the states, let food be surplus. Once food is surplus, the price of things will come down. Once food is scarce, the price of things will keep going up. If things are surplus, everybody who has food in stores, are you aware that people have food in warehouses?
Of course.
Waiting for when the food becomes more expensive. Nobody keeping food in warehouse is waiting for the food to get cheaper. You have a call?
Yes, I do have a call. All right, give me a moment. Hello, good evening. We lost that caller. Sorry, you might have to call us back. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is nobody in warehousing food is expecting the food to get cheaper. You're warehousing it so that if rice is 100,000 now, you're warehousing it so that you can sell later when it's 120.
All right.
Okay, go on.
Hello? Kindly tune down the volume of your TV set. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm
Okay. Your what? Your who? Sorry.
Please speak up, sir.
Yeah, you with me?
Okay, yes, please go ahead. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, I'm Jibril Zakari. I'm calling from my local government area of Benin State.
Okay, please go ahead, Jibrin.
Yeah, I'm watching you live, and I want to appreciate Engineer Toba Ojaye for his comments on the national economy in 2025 from the scene of the national budget presented by Mr. President. Yeah, Mr. Engineer Toba Owojaye,
Yes, I can hear you,
I
sir.
think he will be a very good tutor and a mentor in economic aspect actually. I think from my comments so far though, from the budget, 2025 budget by Mr. President, I see every possibility of economic.
Oh, sorry, we lost that caller. Sincerely sorry for that. That has to be the network. But you can always call us back, trust me.
Yes, I like his point. I was once in Otpo. I worked in Otpo, so I know where he's from and where he's speaking from. We need to believe, the presidency needs to do their work to make us believe that they know what they are doing. They are taking us in the right direction. They are acting their parts. The state governors are doing their own bid. Every hand must be on deck. Nigeria is a big deal. I was reading in the papers where BRICS, which is the biggest organization, wants to add Nigeria to become a member because of what we have. We have economy. We have, look at Nigeria. The business is booming. I'm sorry to say that a lot of people are going through hardship at a level. But at a certain level also in this country, business is booming.
Really?
I mean, at the same time, that as somebody is suffering at a certain level.
Is there statistics to back up what you're saying? Because the little I know, we know that businesses has crashed to an extent.
Go to any hangout this evening. I will assure you business is booming.
It's not just about fun.
I am explaining to you how economy works. Economy is money. Okay? Somebody is going to buy fish this night for 8,000. I went out with my wife 2 weeks ago. I don't have that much money to take out every time. So I squeezed out some money to take out. And I said, this place that we squeezed out to spend 24,000. Some people come here every day.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, we are talking about Naira and Kobo. We're not talking about emotion here. I'm telling you that as in this same country, a large number of people are still suffering based on the economy and their financial situations. In this same country, there are people balling on a daily. So it's to understand how can I tap into that. What do I need to change? I have some friends who are now doing online virtual work with 1 or 2 organizations abroad. There are people who are doing all sorts of new remote jobs that helps them earn in dollars, and they're able to take care of themselves better. The people have to change a bit. The government has to change a bit. We need to be more open with information. That's the first thing I would say. We need to be more open with information. We should be able to access details of the budget. The budget is still be going through a review for the whole of this month. I would give a little expo. By the maybe 30th, the budget will be presented. It's still being presented to almost every Senate House committee right now. So the budget is not ready, but it will be ready, and we see what we do about it. But those informations have to be made public so that we can critique it, so that we can ensure that they didn't tell us that they want to buy toothpick for 2 million. Those are the things we need to check.
All right, thank you so much, Toba. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Good evening. Glad to have you on the show.
are you hearing me?
I can clearly. Please go ahead with your thoughts. Your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Jacob Maji JJ from Kafacha.
Okay. Kafacha.
Yes.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm very, very impressed with the engineer, Toba. He's saying a good thing, but one thing is where I am now, things are very, very hard. Very, very hard. From Kapacha to Kaduna, the transport is too high. It's 10,000 naira. I don't know from here to Abuja. So the government have to do something. People are suffering, seriously. Please.
All right.
Yes, I think, as I'm hearing you, like you are closing to them, please talk to them.
Okay, sir.
Please. I'm very happy. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have yourself a great evening.
Yes.
So, I was going to ask you. You talked about we seeing the we see the progress of our refineries kicking off production.
Yes.
That of Port Harcourt, Warri Refinery, and the rest of it. But the thing is, another question around it is the sustainability. What happens to the sustainability?
Do you have another call? Or?
No, I think, okay, yeah, I think I do have another call. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Glad to have you on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, this is Jibril calling from Agatu. I have to
Okay,
call back.
Jibril, oh, we lost you initially. Okay, please go ahead.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. What as I was saying, like, from the budget presented by the Mr. President, I think my confidence in the transformation of Nigeria economy increased.
Okay.
Because I can see that the area of defense has the lion's share of the budget, which is one of the most critical areas to look at
Okay.
in the present situation of Nigeria. Because an environment well served really matters for economic activities to grow. For example, specifically, I'm from Agatu, and I'm living currently in Agatu. This issue of insecurity really affects a lot. The like of me, I'm an economic student studying in Benin State University, and I can probably say I'm the one with the help of God training myself in school. The issue of security has really affected me this year. Really affects me because the farm work I did to enable me have something tuition school this year because of the insecurity that's really like I can't even weed or other things. Like I don't think I harvest anything this year to push forward. So I think if such amount is invested in defense to encourage the defense to do more work, because you can see from the recent news from issue of from Kaduna area, some bandits are already laying down their arms, and I think this is because of the efforts of the military and more if the same go round.
So really I wanted to ask you, is the state in Agatu good now? Because I know years ago you guys used to have header clashes with farmers. Has it gone down in Agatu?
Yeah, as I'm speaking with you currently, I think the present elected chairman of our local government, Honorable Melvin Eje, kudos to him through his efforts of some stakeholders for peace talks and all of that. I think the last one they did is of day before yesterday, which I think they are reaching an agreement of resolution already. So for the past 2 weeks now, I think hopefully from the agreements they are trying to read.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'm
grateful for us now to go ahead with our farm activity.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much for joining the conversation.
Kudos to you again, Engineer Tobi Ujari. I think I enjoy all you have said and I'm learning from.
All right.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if there is any way I can come in contact with you to learn from us.
I will find your name on Facebook and I'll reach out to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, enjoy your evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Glad to have you on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Abubakar, I'm calling from Bauchi.
Abubakar from Bauchi, please go ahead.
Please, can you speak louder, sir?
Thank you for organizing this program.
Okay.
It's really educating. And
if he doesn't speak louder, I can't hear him.
Captain TV, I think now is leading the way in terms of information and knowledge sharing.
Okay. Please, sir, if you could hear me, could you please speak up a bit so my guests can equally hear you?
Okay, so that can hear me well?
Yes,
I can hear you now.
Like I was saying, now Captain TV is leading the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you there?
We can hear you, sir.
Oh, sorry. That has to be the network. And hello, are you there, Mr. Abubakar? Sorry, you might have to call us back. So
Yeah, so it's this is the issue on ground now. Should the presidency, back to the refineries, should the presidency hand over these 2 refineries to organizations to run, or should Nigeria still run the refineries? So far, for what we've seen for the last 40 years, Nigeria is not good at doing business, especially business that is ours. We would steal the money, run down the place, destroy it, and this is what all of us depend on. We depend on this for.
Sorry, we have Abubakar calling back.
Okay.
Let's quickly
We'd love to
wrap
hear
up
him.
with her. Hello, Mr. Abubakar. Please go ahead.
Hello, thank you. As I was saying, that is leading the way in terms of knowledge sharing and information.
Thank you so much for
And
that.
I really congratulate you for organizing these programs.
Thank you.
And what let me spread to the thing that is really worrying me. It also affects the national economy.
Okay.
This issue of leadership, corruption, lack of security, honestly, is the main problem in this country.
Okay.
We don't have good leadership. This issue of NNPC that Engineer is talking about, how are we sure this thing is well maintained and it will stand the test of time?
And you have you have to keep glued to the program because I just asked him that question and he was going to respond before your call came in.
Okay, okay, let me go further.
All right.
And you see the issue of security too is also affect the economy.
Okay.
If you know what is happening in the northeast, in the northwest, as Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi State, honestly, you pity them, you weep. A situation where a husband will take his wife for somebody, a bandit will use her and return it to you after a week or so, or where a situation where you see a bandit will be using your daughter in your presence. I'm sorry to use these words. Which country are we? Which type of country is this, for goodness sake? What are the military, the armed forces, what are they doing? Is it that this place they cannot penetrate them, this bandit? How can somebody come to your wife and pick your wife, go and use her and bring her back? Imagine, gentlemen.
Did it happen recently? Is there any incident like this recently, and where did it happen?
It is so many. Between God and man, I'm swearing between God and man, this thing is happening. It's reoccurring every day. Are you aware of what this bandit Bello Turji is saying? He is now making the people to in Chinkafi. They cannot even stay. They are now clearing that area in Chinkafi, in Zamfara State. As I'm talking to you now, the people in most of the around the Chinkafi now, they are leaving that area. Honestly, before I was thinking I'm patriotic, I'm thinking I'm a Nigerian, but I hate myself not to be a Nigerian, honestly. I don't like this kind of situation. Even now that they are saying the Boko Haram is subsiding, it's still happening. In some pocket of places, it's still happening. People cannot go farm to the farm. People cannot even earn a living. They sleep with one eye. They cannot even stay in their homes. You guys should not imagine this thing because you are living in Abuja, Lagos, somewhere. You are just hearing stories in the country. You need to see these things with your bare eyes. You know that this country is something else.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Progress without security.
Thank you.
Which kind of economy are we going to run without security? People, they cannot even fend for their living.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abubakar, and thank you for joining the conversation. Let's go in a short break. We'll be right back after the break.
the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at Captain Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At Captain TV,
Welcome back from that break. This is still Spotlight with Mercy on Kaftan Television, and I'm still being joined by Engineer Toby Owojayi. He's talked about the national economy come 2025. So, Engineer, back to you.
Yes.
We were saying something before we went on that short break about the sustainability of the refineries. As much as we applaud the federal government for at least having seen that the refineries have kicked up to work, but another question around it is we cannot run away from the fact that if Nigeria must get back to normal, if Nigerians must feel the relief of, there has to be, you know, the reflection of this, or rather the impact in transportation, because it basically affects every livelihood of Nigeria. So then, about that, we've seen also the prices of fuel reduced very little though, and we are hopeful that it will continue to. But another question around it is, if there is sustainability of these refineries, there is every possibility that the price of PMS will still go down. So, but then again, I want to understand from your own perspective, what happens to the sustainability? Talk to us about the sustainability of.
Okay, so fuel is our biggest dependent. We are dependent on fuel in this country for exports and for use, and it's the highest singular determinant for the value of our naira. Okay, because transportation will increase the cost of everything in Nigeria. If you go back to May 29 of 2023, when Tinubu came, fuel was still at 190 something. It is everything that happens to fuel that happens to every part of Nigeria. So the best way to fix it is to go back to the problem. What was the problem? We are subsidizing. Why were we subsidizing what we have? We didn't have refineries to produce it. We had the crude in the ground, but the crude was so bunkered that bigger companies like Shell and others were exiting and running away. Why? Because one Shell staff will be picked up and Shell will pay 200 million. And before Shell finishes paying 200 million, another Shell staff is picked up and Shell pays 500 million. And before that's even remove all of that, you would see the pipe that carries fuel. You will see complete big welded pipes into the pipe bunkering fuel. So all of this was taking place and our refineries were not working. So the first step, fix our refineries first of all. Now ensure they are working. This is what you are saying.
Okay.
We should run like banks. I can assure you that there's no, I'm not hyping them, but let me just call a bank. I have to call a bank. You can't go to any Zenith bank now and there will not be AC. Why is there AC? Not because they love the customers in maybe that remote part of Zamfara, but because the bank has a brand identity. There's a way the branch must look like. There's a class the branch must be. There's an amount of service that must be taking place in that branch, which is a step off of what is happening at the headquarters. So they are not giving you AC because they like you, because there's a brand that must be consistent. At their ATMs, there's somebody who is monitoring that ATM to ensure that if the ATM goes offline, They will call the staff in charge of that. This is what we need in Nigeria. Even in Saudi Arabia, you see where they have a whole estate that is into monitoring of their pipelines, of their resources. They know when any fuel increases or reduces in flow. Nigeria has just created that monitoring center end of last year. These are the things we need to see. We need to have CCTV cameras following all of the places where our pipes are. Should the president outsource completely? I would not say yes. Because if you give it to a private hand, we are not sure whether the price will ever come down. Now, if we leave it in the hands of NNPC, will they manage it well? The same NNPC as a body is what mismanaged our refinery to this point, because they bended to political will. There's nothing wrong with the refinery. We bended to different political games. Our problem as a country is our politics. I've said that. We don't have strong institutions. Somebody that can talk to a president and say, I will not do your bidding, and nothing will go wrong. These are the things we must fix as a nation. I think the president should let NNPC run for a year. Let them run for a year. Let them know that you have already put outsourced companies ready to take over. If they don't meet this target and this target. Why do you think banks function? Because staff have targets. If you have bankers as friends,
exactly, you see almost every bank.
As fine as the girl is, she's pursuing targets.
Exactly.
Targets. You think if you go to banks, you think they believe their bosses hate them. No, it's a system, because the boss too has the targets.
Exactly.
Your target is a part of his. If we run NNPC as a business, then we will ensure that that business continues running. We ensure that no part of it gets spoiled. We ensure that it fits. A system is only as strong as its weakest link, because once there's a weak link or a busted pipe, we are back where we started. We are back to oil spillage. We are back to all of those issues that we had in the past. So it needs good management. I think we should have a public-private running system between NNPC and a few private organizations.
And then now I want you to give us a brief analysis of our national security, because just like the last caller rightly said, we cannot entirely address any problem in this part of the security is as crucial as the PMS, for transportation of goods and services, and even more, because where insecurity contributed to food insecurity that we are being faced today, because cases where farmers are unable to access their farmlands due to insurgency, banditry, and the rest of it. Now, it's quite applaudable that we've seen the 2025 budget have the defense have the highest of it allocated to it. But now, how would you think we best manage this insecurity in the country?
I want to say the president has a large political will in fighting insecurity. Now, you must understand insecurity. Insecurity is beyond two fighting. Insecurity is largely political. Largely political, and largely a few elites using insecurity to fight for power. I'll say it again. Insecurity we have in Nigeria is largely, not completely, largely elites using insecurity to fight for power. I believe that insecurity is going on in Zamfara because there's mining going on in Zamfara.
Yeah, but sorry to cut you short, but now if insecurity is being driven by some political will or motivation, yes, are we ever going to get over it? Because we don't see power. Power is something that has come to stay and it will remain. So now, in that regard, do you think we'll ever get over this problem?
The people now have to get wiser than the politicians.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to us about that.
Yes. So you of course the big man will not come and cause the insecurity in that community. He'll just sponsor a few people.
Okay.
Go and scatter that place. Take 300,000. And then once you release these bandits out, they're like mad dogs. Once you don't fund them politically again, do you know what they do? They go to the streets, because you've given them a life that they have tasted. You are working here, I don't know how much you earn. Let me assume you earn 500,000. Imagine if somebody dashes you, you find another way of sitting down and making 700,000. You may not have the incentive to wake up to work tomorrow. So let's say a guy was farming before. Now you removed him from farming and you have made him an insurgent. And then you now give him, he was earning monthly, let's say 200,000. Now all he needs to do is hold a gun and he makes 1 million. And he has the right, like the other guy said, to rape women, do this, cause havoc. So he's making more money for doing something more evil. And he's getting away with it because there are people backing it. There are big powers backing it. If you arrest 2 of them, before morning you will see the calls that the DPO would get. These are the issues. The people need to know that we must stand against people using us against us. We must know that there's no other person dying but us. There's no other person stranded but us. I told you about the Agatu. Many parts of Benue now are in ITP camps. People who are farming, where my wife is from, they used to farm in a village and bring out 40 trucks per day. 40 trucks of food per day. Now 80% of that village has run away and are in ITP camps or have relocated to smaller villages closer to town and can't farm again. These are the issues that must be solved. We need more soldiers to solve them. We need more equipment to solve them. We need more technologies to solve them. At December, the only attacks we saw that were even foiled were bandits trying to use drones. Are you kidding me? Bandits trying to use drones.
How did they get hold of drones? Who supplied it?
These are the things we are saying. Means they have tried different strategies. There was a time in which the bandits used to use their shoes they put under their shoes the hoofs of cows. That, you know, a cow has a hoof, so they put a hoof at the under of their shoes, and as they walk around, you will think it's cows that are moving. You can't trace them. Now they've left that to drones. So we need to constantly know what technology or what means they are using and continue this war. I know the president is fighting this war. We must cry for Lagbaja, who fought this war for less than 2 years and passed on, and somebody else has taken the baton. We'll continue this war. Nigeria must be free. Every single part of Nigeria must be accessible and free, and people should be able to farm or do any business that they want. This must happen.
Well, that is our hope and that is our prayer for Nigeria to get to that point where a poor man can sleep with their two eyes closed. But then we are actually out of time. But in 60 seconds, I'll have to bring you here to analyze on the tax reform bill. Now, this tax reform bill, which seemed to be very transformative, is still before the National Assembly. As of today, I think there were headlines, or rather there is headline that said that the Governors Forum or something did not meet up or something. But then it seemed to be like head and forth, or be forth and go back and forth struggle. For this bill, which look very transformative of a nation or for a nation, I want to understand in a nutshell, what is your thoughts in that regard?
In a nutshell, wow, that's big. Let me just rush to the end. They did not have their reasons to be apprehensive. Let me assure you, the North is always very calculative of every single thing you do, and they have their own analysts who inform them on whatever you're doing, and they have said that the president must stop and reconsider this, and I assure you the president will stop. What the president has said so far as per today is that he is willing for a bit of compromise. Let them look at what aspects of this thing is making you afraid of it. That is where we are at the moment. But if you ask me, it's a very wonderful bill, I've watched some.
But then, will this bill survive, or
it will?
It will.
I tell you, the president, I know it will.
Thank you very much, Engineer Toba, for your contribution and this evening. So this is where we call it a wrap on today's episode. Thank you very much for sticking around with us, and keep watching Kaftan Television until we come your way some other time. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Good evening.